Today on Disco Elysium, we are investigating the drug trade a bit more. I notice I'm kind of just doing whatever missions are the easiest to do. Like this one, we just gotta talk to people here, so I'm just
Still here, stuck in this damn jam.
letting that sort itself out.
What's up? I don't want to talk about that. Man, I was hoping it isn't gonna be her. All I can say is, she isn't around here anymore. She isn't some evil drug trafficker. And I don't know where she is. Thank God I don't know. People here call her the Lady Driver. She kept her name a secret. From me too. Now I see why. A friend? An acquaintance. I don't know. She was the only person in this damn jam I could talk to. She's someone I don't want to rat out to the law, okay? A youngish woman. Gruff, but in a cool way.
What color hair?
Blue and violet. Dyed. It was violet when she got here. Blue before she went.
I mean, she could dye it again though. That doesn't.
May have dyed it again.
Yeah, okay. It figures that out. I guess I might as well grill him.
I told you I was hoping it's not her. That she wouldn't be mixed up in it.
He still is. Hoping. It's just wishful thinking on his part. Not trickery. Bah. Emotional rhetoric. He knew something and he didn't share it with you. That's a fact.
I like it when the parts of my brain argue. That's not a sentence you get to say very often.
Damn, I don't want to... Please just let it go. Whatever she did, it can't be that bad. She's not a bad person. I know that much.
We can't just let it go. It's part of a police investigation.
I also appreciate how many different characters we're getting
That's
into.
how it always is with you, isn't it? All part of the investigation. The girl's troubled. If you hunt her down, she may not survive it. I can't have that on my conscience.
It won't come to that. We won't pursue her on this. This is information only.
I don't believe you. She's got the darkness in her. That young person's darkness when you think it's all over. And you're looking for a way out.
Why is he getting all
Sure,
weirdly
this was-
poetic?
Yes.
In a weird
Which is
angle.
why I don't want to snitch on her. I heard the rumors. I saw the other drivers looking at me strange when we talked. And she told me too. That she's had a violent life. But I wasn't afraid of her. More like for her.
It's not gonna be like Kuno S, is it?
Did this violent
Obviously
life
not.
include
She's
drug
not a
trafficking?
lorry driver,
Well,
you know.
it looks like it did now. But we didn't talk about that. We talked about life, you know? She talked about her mind. The way it worked. The trouble it was giving her. Fuck, man. Go grill someone else with these questions, okay? There are plenty of drivers here who couldn't stand her, or were afraid of her. They'd be more than happy to rat her out.
He's right. There are other options. The raceman for one.
Yeah, I don't
Wait,
want to talk
this
to
guy
him.
says they're
Great.
friends, then acquaintances. And he's okay with others ratting her out. Push Tommy and it will break his heart. And his spirit. Don't expect you to be pals.
I mean, I'll drop it for now. If I need to, though, I will come back. Or is that an option? It's gotta be an option. I mean, I don't think they would have you give this whole dilemma though if you could just not do it and leave. Is there gonna be some benefit though later on to being friends with him, or is that just gonna be a moral makes you feel bad kind of thing? Cause hang on, let me check. If you look at this, right, where is it? This is for Joyce, so we can get something going on here. I am Whatever. I gotta make a choice. I gotta keep things interesting for the video. You know, I'm gonna force him.
I thought you were a different kind of cop.
I.
The realization
I'm
that
not.
you've used his friendliness and goodwill for your own ends.
Here.
The keys to a motor lorry. Pretty complex. Looks like a chain lock.
Her lorry's still here, down past the Statue of Philippe. The cabin is green. You can get in there with these. That's all I know.
Yeah. Okay. We wouldn't have gotten that from anyone
When did
else.
she leave?
Last Friday. No. I don't know. She left them to me. Because she trusted me. So I can get it out of the way when the jam breaks loose. Otherwise...
The other drivers would have to tow it or break in to get the machines moving.
If they break in, they would find what's hidden inside. Something incriminating.
I don't think that'll help me at all. I think that'll be kind of an empty gesture.
Thank you for your cooperation, sir. I know it was hard, but you did the right thing.
You don't really think so.
I really do. If I didn't, I wouldn't be in the RCM. Take care, sir.
Well, that's that plot thread. We got some progress on. It's near the monument, is it? It's gonna be like over around here. Is it? Why are you taking such a weird... Oh yes, it's this one.
This green found, A to Z, contemporaire, is parked in the shadow of the ruins looming overhead. It's seen better days.
This is the one our men pointed to.
Yeah, first we'll
The
peek
glass on
in.
the side windows is tinted and covered with dust. You can barely make out the shape of a seat and two steering levers. It feels like you're peeking into someone's home residence. Inside it's private, cozy, warm, dusty too. The door is locked. The handle looks shiny, like it's recently replaced. There's no picking this lock. The owner has put special care into it. It's a recessed design. You push the key into the lock and turn. It makes a cracking sound. Then the door pops back a few centimeters. You can just... The smell of cigarettes and perfume welcomes you. The cabin inside is plastered with old movie posters. Actresses smile from the walls. There's a radio transmitter in the front and a toolbox tucked under the driver's seat. Some tools lie scattered near the pedals.
Might as well like get all
These
the
are
look
movie
around we
posters
can.
featuring starlets from long-forgotten films from the 20s, the teens, even the 90s of the last century.
How old is she? Like, is that nostalgia or is she like
One of them particularly catches your eye. A centerfold of an
older
aubergine
than I?
attached right above the back seat.
Is she older than I had anticipated?
The actress is draped in a sheathed dress, one of her shoulders bared. The faded remains of an autograph run across the poster. She's looking past the camera.
Without hinted
A
that she's
feeling of
older.
tenderness washes over you. A longing even, perhaps. And gentle tragedy.
Like older than I had anticipated. I thought she was gonna be like early 20s maybe, but probably older
This
if that's
is
how.
Tijon, a starlet from the dawn of cinematography, less known for her talent than her tragic, untimely death. She wasted away in a drug den called the Door to the River, not far from here, on Boogie Street, a mixture of cocaine and morphine. She was afraid of the world, and the camera, too. The actresses and the rear actor all smile you a warm goodbye. A radio transmitter is attached to the dashboard, and a toolbox sits under the driver's seat. Looks like the frequency dial is absent. It requires a key to work, but the key has been removed, likely by the missing lady driver.
Strange. There are so many radio stations saved here. Must be over 100 at least.
It has to be an advanced model to fit so many frequencies next to each other without blending them together.
For contacting
Don't know what
an
that
entire
means.
fleet of lorrymen, for example. This is all shortwave, UW and UKV.
Yeah, it's like frequencies and talking to like other drivers. That's apparently a thing truckers do on the road.
Looks like we are dealing with an impressive organizational tool. The nerve center of a huge operation. With quite a range too.
A 20-kilometer radius at least, perhaps extended by an attachable antenna that's not here right now.
Doesn't look like it. It's completely inoperable without a dial key.
The smell of 1,000 cigarettes, some dead actresses, and a rusty old toolbox under the seat.
I like how the description changes every time you examine it.
You wedge
Get to that.
yourself under the steering wheel to get a better look. Seems like the few tools lying around here, a hammer, a pair of pliers, a rusty wrench, have been casually thrown there by the disorganized driver. But one odd detail does catch your eye. A piece of sandpaper has been glued to the throttle. Sandpaper adds extra grip.
Sandpaper? A novel technique?
Would her shoes or boots or whatever be like, I don't know, slippery? Is that a thing that can happen?
The movie stars are still smiling from the walls. There's a radio transmitter in the front and a pull-out toolbox tucked under the driver's seat. Some tools lie scattered near the pedals. A metallic drawer slides out from the seat. It's empty, except for a folded newspaper.
The like sound effect work is really good too, I gotta
It's an
say.
issue of Petit Ferique from last Wednesday. A piece of paper falls out from its pages. It looks like an article ripped out from a radio enthusiast magazine. Complex mathematical equations explain the basics of something called the Ulan frequency system.
I'd like to see that.
The Ulan frequency system? I've never heard of that before. I know of FM, AM, UKV, but...
The pull-out toolbox slides back into its nest. The rest is as it was. Radio, posters, a trace of motor oil smell under all the cigarettes. You close the rusty old lorry door.
Great. I think we got everything. A word, detective? Before we return to Joyce?
Sure. I like his speech bubble there. I wonder if we're ever gonna have other people in our party.
Alright, we've finished here. Let's quickly debrief and go over what we found, so we don't do it in front of the company. Honestly, I'm quite worried by what we've seen so far. The evidence seems to point to a rather extensive and well-organized operation.
It seems like everyone's kind of in
especially
on it.
intrigued by that radio transmitter, particularly
Oh,
the
yeah,
sheer
that
number
too.
of stations it can connect. Looks like this alleged drug trade casts a wide net.
I don't know why I was thinking about the murder, but yeah. I mean, disorganized drug trades probably wouldn't last as long,
I'm
right?
not sure what the Ulan frequencies are all about, but they may hold some significance. Perhaps it's a better way to connect between fleets while avoiding frequency bleed, or maybe it's used to tap into RCM networks.
I think the posters are just there for like personal enjoyment.
We didn't find anything conclusive linking them to the smuggling operation, but somehow I doubt that Evrard Claire would be oblivious to something like this happening right under his nose. My suggestion is we use it against the Union in any way we can, to our own ends. It's a slippery hill, but we just might be able to pin them down, indirectly, down the road. We should return to the murder case, see what Joyce tells us about the lynching. When we are done for the day, I call my station and suggest our narcotics department look into it.
Like, is that enough to get Joyce to give us information?
There are more than enough grounds to start an official investigation, sometime later when we are done here. We do not want to get caught in that. The fact that one hasn't started already gives me pause. An investigation, I mean. Especially if the Madrid grouping is involved, and I can't imagine they aren't. It's certainly worrisome. All the same, I don't like the idea of internal affairs descending on the matter. That won't help anyone either.
Alright, given how the flow of the conversation's going, I don't think this will be anything, but I gotta try it out since it still gives us the option to.
As elegant as they are, I don't think they are relevant to the drug trade. Yes,
Yeah.
well,
Unimportant.
Yeah, it is.
debrief over. After you.
Alright, well, we can talk to Joyce next. Yeah, okay. That's what I'd like to do when I remember. I should probably, on that note, I did it before and it worked well. I'm just gonna go ahead and like go over vaguely to Joyce if I can remember how to get out of here. Cause like my memory of like the previous day's progress in the game tends to be a bit like shaky, especially when I start up a new episode and I can kind of like end up carrying myself down wrong paths if I don't just like, yeah, hey, you gotta, like, if I don't have, I guess I should say, word it, if I don't have what I want to do in sight, that's Cindy's work up there, isn't there? A lot more red. There, and now we'll save here. I don't know if saving's actually necessary given how aggressive this game tends to be with auto-saving or modern just games in general. Like I know The World Ends With You is like that as well. And I think it auto-saves here when you go to the main menu, right? Yep, it sure does.